Thank you, Stan. Well, good morning, everyone. You know, Stan had no idea what I was going to talk about today, and so that reading was very perfect. And it's about the light also. But I'm going to begin first by, sharing something Reverend Pat said to me yesterday while we visited her at the hospital. She said, no one is doing anything about the evil in the world. I thought about that for a second. And I said, please say more about what you mean in that regard. And she said, well, no one's doing anything about the guns. That's just one example. Automatic weapons that people, no one's doing anything about. And she expressed her view about it, which I share, that no one should have an automatic weapon. A layperson having an automatic weapon to protect themselves. It's a little extreme, but not to speak anymore necessarily on that, but it reminds me, that my talk today was going to be about the light also, but it is about us. We are the light. And the way this world is right now, with all its chaos and confusion, we kind of feel at times like, what can we do about that? And the truth is nothing but be the light. Now, yes, there are groups that are fighting the gun legislation. I can't even pronounce that at this moment. But there are groups that get together and they say fight, but we have to remove that word. It has to be for something good. And we have to remind ourselves that we'll do what we can, but we have to be that good in this world. We have to be that light and that good in this world. If you're not part of a group, or you're not, you can heal the world from your living room just by sending that light that you are out to all of creation. There have been many times throughout the history of this world when we have been called upon to come and be the light in the midst of the darkness. And it's crucial right now. It is very crucial. Before I go any further, I want to read something to you. This book is called The Age of the Divine Mother. And this whole book is about the Ascended Master, Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus. And in here she says, you and I have not created all the karma that is descending upon the nations in this hour. But we have contributed little rivets, little drops of our angers, our fears, our jealousies, and all of those things that have not been centered in the heart of the Christ. This becomes planetary karma. So for us to say, what can we do? We can do plenty. In fact, we are being called upon right now to do what we can. And what we can is just to be the natural existence of what was created by our Creator, and that is us. We are the light and love and the life of all. So right now, I want you to think very deeply about that and the responsibility we carry. Because to say, I'm on my spiritual path, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, well, it's not enough. It just isn't enough unless we're aware of the power we hold within us. within that light. The divine presence, that God creator, created us like itself. So we are endowed with that light and that power and that life. And it is for us to give as the Creator gave to us. And how we give is by being the example in this world. So if it is our unhealed angers and resentments and jealousies, we are part of that planetary karma that's playing itself out right now. But karma doesn't have to continue. Karma is blotted out. It is healed when we see the light in whatever that was that we projected in the past. If we can, it's simple. It's so simple. I mean, I practice every day. I'm not talking to you about anything I don't practice. We have to practice that when anything comes up that's less than loving and less than peaceful in our minds, we immediately turn it over to the light. And one of the things that Jesus did and all the masters have done, they are aware of that violet light, that violet flame. And that's all-consuming flame of divine love. And all you have to do is call on that and ask it to consume whatever it is that is less than the beautiful light that you are. This is our practice. This has to be what we join in. We have to join together, being the light in the darkness. We have to go turn that light on. And I'm not sure that you think of yourself that way. I'm not sure that you get up in the morning and you think of yourself being that bright light, and that you can, throughout the day, commune with that presence within you. Get up in the morning, commune, acknowledge, I am here, Lord, or I am here, I am presence. I am here, God. I am here. I am here. I'm listening, even though I don't need to hear words, because I know you're going to guide every step of mine, because I'm asking you to. That thing in the Bible where it's call, and you will be answered. Knock, and I will be there, is true. It's that simple. But we not only need to do that in the morning and before we go to bed, but we need to do it countless times during the day. Just be aware. In the middle of your busyness, be aware of the light that you are and how do you want to project that light? And be aware of that almighty divine presence within you that's breathing you. That's the heart of you. It beats your heart. Without it, the flesh body is laid aside. And we go on. But while we're here in this incarnation, in this body, there's a lot that we can do. But first, we have to acknowledge who we really are. We are the light of the world. It is so important right now. My sister sent me a video of a place, and then Reverend Susan Firth and I was talking yesterday about it also, called Asbury, I think it is, ASBURY College. And they have a service that they put out 3 times a week for the students. But somehow something happened, and they're calling it a revival right now, where someone got up and spoke, and all of a sudden the presence of the Holy Spirit or of God or of Jesus Christ, whatever you want to call it, was felt. And by no volition of their own, the church has filled, and it's pouring from other states. People are coming in and praying there. Something has happened, and it's because we are being called together right now. We are being called together whether it's in large groups of hundreds or thousands or 10 or 15 people. We're being called together to join our hearts and our light and to send that out into the world. Because the more we do it, it's going to affect the darkness. It's going to make a difference. But it takes all of us, not just some of us, all of us. And, this morning, I just want you to really sink into that, the responsibility we have. If we were created in the image and likeness of our Creator, the love and the light and the life, that wisdom of the Creator is flowing through us every moment. We just have to pay attention. In one of the books that I've read, there was a decree that I thought was really powerful. And it was, I have to think about it, and what I want to say, it just left my mind. I'll have to ad-lib, but it means I'm above the veil now. I'm through the veil now. That's what it was. I am through the veil now. We came into this world and there was this veil. And that veil is the chaos and confusion that covers this planet. And we have to move through that veil. And it's not hard. Jesus tells us it's not hard, but it is experienced as difficult because we don't want to let go of things in the past. It was also said, and I read something this week that was so powerful, that if a child is born, and if the conditions of this world, through the parents and everything around it, were not laid upon that child would only know itself as pure light. Isn't that something? Pure light. And that child would know, just like that Christ child in the manger knew, it was pure light, and it could go out and it could save the world. Now, does that responsibility lie on one shoulder? No, it lies on all of us. That we have to come alive. We have to be devoted to remembering who we are, who we truly are, not this persona, not our past, not even what's going on in the world. So this week when I was meditating, I was able to see Jesus in my mind, and he was kneeling, but sideways to me, almost like he was kneeling in the garden. And it's interesting because when I went to visit Reverend Pat yesterday, she told me she saw Jesus. When she thought she was going to die, when she thought she was going to die, she saw Jesus. And she described him to me. And it's exactly the Jesus I saw in my meditation. Isn't that interesting? And he was just praying with his hands in prayer. And it was a reminder to me that our prayers have to come from our heart, and our prayers are powerful, but more so, how we project that light that we are in this world is where the real power is. We're projecting all the time. We are projecting from the past, or we are projecting from this very moment. And the moment is clear. The moment does not have the past. In this very moment, there is no past. Where do we want to reside? In the past or in the present? And what do we want to project out into the world? When she said, no one's doing anything about the evil in the world, that's when Reverend Pat said that to me. Yeah, we are. There are many, like at this church in Asbury Church. Look at the hundreds and hundreds that are gathering. Some of them are staying there overnight. They're not leaving. Some of them have been there for days because they feel the need of that joining, because we are so powerful when we join. So when we meditated this morning, our own, light and tuning into that is one thing, but it's when we sent it out to join with everyone else. That's where the real power is, because we're not alone. We're not one. We're many that becomes one in unity. And that's our power. So you can heal from wherever you're sitting. Or if you want to go out in the world and you want to join some organization that is working towards, not fighting, but working towards bringing about a change, that's wonderful. But for many of us, that's not something we're doing. But we can do greater things from where we're seated, just by acknowledging that we are the light and that we are that power in this world. If we do not think of ourselves, if we think of ourselves as little, then little do we do. If we think of ourselves how great that light is within us, because it's not us, it is that divine presence working through us, then we're great. We are powerful and we can make a difference. My prayer right now is that every heart is turned back to that divine presence. Every heart. That is a powerful prayer, but you can have your own in your own words. But if every heart turns back to that divine presence, that God power within us, we can move mountains. And we can begin today, first by saying, I am through the veil. That's behind me. No more am I not going to be aware. I'm going to awaken in this moment to who I truly am, and that I can project the light and not project the past any longer. Because that's where the anger is, that's where the jealousy is, that's where hatred is, that's where resentment is. It's not in this very moment. You're sitting here right now, and none of that is here. So what do we want to project? Let's project who we are, the light of this world. Let's project that. Let's save this world together. And I thank you for listening today. I love you all. Thank you. Amen.